Bone marrow MSCs are very, very safe. There's hardly any severe effects reported from it. It's safer than a Tylenol pill that we take for a headache.
How can mesenchymal stem cell, or MSC, actually exhibit all of these properties in your body?
So many properties in the body are shared and used in different organs in different ways. And anti-inflammation is very closely coupled to healing. And healing is something that the MSCs will set off or start.
Hi, my name is Joey. I'm a CEO of Soma Health. So today, I'm joined by Professor Katarina, who is a leading scientist in the regenerative medicine field. So today, I just want to have a conversation regarding, how you come about and discovering, and get into the work on regenerative medicine with mesenchymal stem cell.
I did my PhD in Stockholm at the Karolinska Institute, and then I went for a postdoc in the United States for 1 year. And as a young hematologist, I was interested in the bone marrow, but I wanted a niche. I wanted something that was a little bit unusual, a small field. And I stumbled onto the MSCs, which are really the tissue that the hematopoietic or blood cells sit on. And that tissue was used in science mainly for bone regeneration and regeneration of cartilage. But the cell turned out to also have another very important property, and that was that they were an anti-inflammatory. And as a hematologist, that anti-inflammatory property really interested me, and that was how the long MSC journey started.
Wow. Yeah, and that's very unique because yesterday I get the chance to listen to you give a seminar at Siriraj Hospital, and there are a couple of things that you mentioned regarding the anti-inflammation property, the immune modulation property, and also even the vocal cord study regarding collagen and elastin. Is so wide range of properties. How can mesenchymal stem cell, or MSC, actually exhibit all of these properties in your body?
So many properties in the body are shared and used in different organs in different ways. And anti-inflammation is very closely coupled to healing. And healing is something that the MSCs will set off or start. So we use those properties in severe life-threatening complications of blood stem cell transplantation, for example. That is very life-threatening types of inflammatory conditions. We use it for cardiac health, because inflammation is also part of aging, and aging can be reversed by the anti-inflammatory properties of MSCs. We use it in vocal fold, as you said, where there is a scar on the vocal fold leading to aphonia, or inability to speak. And where the scar that the patients have can be resected and MSCs injected that will help the vocal folds heal without scarring. So many different areas, but same mechanisms that recur.
Right. Earlier, you shared that as a young hematologist in the US, you kind of like passionate about the bone marrow aspect. Apart from that, do you have any other reason why you choose bone marrow as a source to extract MSC rather than the common one in Asia here is umbilical cord and adipose tissue?
So MSCs exist in all organs, basically. You can retrieve them from all organs, but the MSCs from the different organs will have specific properties. So adipose MSCs are not or fat MSCs are not the same as the bone marrow MSCs, and they're not the same as cord blood MSCs. Their metabolism is different, and other anti-inflammatory and blood compatibility properties are different. So bone marrow MSCs are more suppressive in terms of inflammation. They have low expression of HLA molecules that make the body see self and foreign. So fewer transplant complications. So from my perspective, MSCs from bone marrow is the best source.
Amazing. That is so new to me. Like I always thought that all MSC is the same.
Yeah, absolutely not the same. No.
Wow. And like when you say not the same, mean like completely different, right? In your mind as a scientist working on it, like
bone marrow MSCs are very, very safe. There's hardly any severe effects reported from it. It's safer than a Tylenol pill that we take for a headache. But that's not true for all MSCs. So adipose MSCs, for example, will express tissue factor, which is a procoagulant blood clotting factor that can complicate things. That's very true also for MSCs from placenta, for example, has high levels of tissue factor. And bone marrow MSCs have no tissue factor. So the risk of complication is definitely much lower.
Amazing.
It's really a success story.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I can feel it here in the entire regulation too. We are moving very fast to kind of like getting into research, more proven kind of like indication in the ATMP field. So that also like gene therapy and mesenchymal and MSC treatment included into that. So can you explain a little bit more what is GMP and how is that important to the production?
GMP refers to good manufacturing process, and that means that the process for generating the MSCs needs to be very tightly regulated and also done in a very safe fashion and under controlled circumstances, which of course is important for the possible patients be treated, that they have a quality product that is safe for them to take and efficacious.
And efficacious. What do you mean by the last part that you...
It needs to have an effect. It can't just be a cell that someone claims is good for you. It needs to be a cell that is proven scientifically to actually be beneficial.
Can you kind of like explain a little bit like the non-GMP and a GMP process, how difficult it is to get the GMP process? The
GMP process needs to be very tightly regulated, and therefore it needs to have potency, show potency of the product, but also safety and every single step in production controlled. So it is difficult, but for the right reasons. It's difficult so that it will be very safe.
Oh, that's a very that's new to me. So basically, GMP not only kind of have a stringent production for the safety aspect, but also the potency aspect. That you have to pass GMP.
Yes.
I just want to ask. I see a lot of publication with mesenchymal stem cell MSC can help with many different indication, or a lot of researchers around the world are exploring multiple indication. What, in your opinion, can mesenchymal stem cell MSC help with all of these indications like neurological condition, cardiological condition, and like liver and the rest of the...
Around the world, we think there are around 900 clinical studies ongoing, so there's a lot of research activity. And graft versus host disease, or the transplant complications, was the first indication that has really been investigated to a large extent. But besides that, there's investigations ongoing for cardiac disease, for neurological conditions where it's the anti-inflammatory effect that's being sought, but also the trophic effect of MSCs, such as in promoting skeletal healing, for example, not by differentiating and replacing the bone, but by promoting endogenous healing of the bone. ARDS, which is a white lung complication after COVID, there were a lot of clinical trials with positive results in some of them. So nearly any disease has an inflammatory component. So MSCs have a potential role in very many disorders.
No, thank you so much, Professor,
Thank you
for very insightful sharing. I learned so much more, even more than yesterday one, because maybe I get to ask you a question directly. So really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you.